Now we're going to work on finding parallel and perpendicular equations of lines. So, our first example, we have point P. Well, first let's look at the directions. Find the equations in slope-intercept form of the lines through the point P. So it's going to go through this point, but it's going to be parallel, and then we'll find perpendicular to line L. So for this first example, we're going to use this point when we write our equation because our new line is going to go through that point. And we want it to be first parallel and then perpendicular to this line that they gave us. So for the line that they gave us, x plus y equals 4, what we want to know is what the slope is of this line. Well, I notice that it's in standard form right now. So if you remember, we can find the slope from standard form by doing that negative a over b. So our a value is 1, so negative 1 over our b value is 1. So the slope is negative 1. So for our parallel line, we are going to use the same slope. So we're going to use the slope of negative 1 and the point 1, negative 2. We're going to write an equation with that information. So how do we write an equation again? Well, you have a point and you have a slope, so we do point-slope form. Y minus y2, so it's going to become y plus 2 minus the negative 2 equals negative 1 times x minus x1, which is a 1. We want our answer in slope-intercept form, so we're going to solve this for y. We'll distribute that negative 1. Negative 1 times x is negative x. Negative 1 times negative 1 is positive 1. And then we subtract 2. Y equals negative x minus 1. All right, there's our parallel line. Now we're going to write an equation perpendicular. So our perpendicular one, we're going to use the same point, 1, negative 2, but now we need a perpendicular slope. So the original slope was negative 1. If you flip that, here, I'll write it over here. If the slope is negative 1, think of it as negative 1 over 1. The perpendicular slope, you're going to flip that and change the sign, so you're going to end up with a positive 1 slope. So we write our equation, y minus y1, so y plus 2 equals our slope of 1 times x minus 1. Distribute that 1, which really doesn't change that, so y plus 2 equals x minus 1, and then subtract 2, and we have y equals x minus 3. So we have a line that is parallel to the given line, and then we found a line that's perpendicular to the given line. All right, let's do that again with another example. So we want to go through the given point and then parallel to the given line. So what do we need to know about the given line? We need to know the slope. Well, what I notice with this one is we have x minus y equal, or x minus 4 equals 0. Well, there's no y, so we're going to solve for the x. This is going to be a special line. Add 4 to both sides and you have x equals 4. All right, now on this one, we're going to kind of think about what's happening. X equals 4. If we look at where that is, draw it out real quick. Where is x equal to a 4? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's either vertical or horizontal, so remember you don't cover the axis, so it's going to go through the axis. So this is a vertical line, x equals 4. Now, our parallel line is going to look exactly like that. So we know it's going to be x equals some number. So let's plot the point that they gave us, negative 3, 2. So negative 3, 2. We want the equation of the line that's going through this point but is parallel to the given line. This line is right here. So it's going to be x equals, all you have to do is look at the x-axis to see where you're crossing the x-axis, and it's crossing at a negative 3. So x equals negative 3 is a parallel equation. And it makes sense. They kind of look the same. One is x equals 4, one is x equals negative 3. Those are going to be parallel to each other. All right, our perpendicular, I'm going to use the same picture above. Now perpendicular to a vertical line is just going to be a horizontal line. We're still going through that same point, so if I draw a horizontal line through this point, I just need the equation of this line. So all horizontal lines have y equals, and then all you have to do is say, well, y equals what? Where is it crossing the y-axis? It's crossing at a 2, so y equals 2 is a perpendicular equation.